Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and today is day 15 of the Johnny Depp vs. the Sun trial, and all evidence at this point has been given. Tomorrow will be the final day, and today was basically NGN or the Sun's closing submission and speeches. Tomorrow, Johnny's team will get their chance to do their closing submission and speeches. No more witnesses on the stand. We are just getting everything that I tell you is coming directly from Sasha Watts, who is representing the Sun. Now, Amber was the only one there. Depp was unable to make it because of business, but he will be back before the end of the day tomorrow. So we see Sasha, and some of these things that I'm going to go over are absolutely so ridiculous. I cannot believe it is allowed. There was plenty of times when I was like, really? That's your evidence? That's what you're going with? Okay, you can die on that hill alone there. So she opens up by telling how she's going to wrap up her side of the argument. She's saying that the article in question is saying that Johnny is suing over is calling him a wife beater, meaning that they only have to prove he assaulted Amber on at least one occasion, even though in her mind she says that she has proved it on multiple occasions. She said she, with his use of drugs and alcohol in the presence of the monster may have made him unaware that he hurt her. Now, if you remember when this first started, I said that they were going to go this way, and there it is. I called it. I think it was my second video on the court date. I knew they were going to do this. I knew that's why they were going with the drugs. They were going to say, well, if you can't remember doing this, maybe you just don't remember assaulting her. And that's exactly where they immediately went. So Sasha tries to explain the complexity of, domestic violence situations and relationships and how they are far from straightforward because, the victim often protects the abuser. She credits Johnny Depp's evil persona as, being real because of the email he sent to Elton John saying, I would have been swallowed up by the monster if it were not for you. So, the monster's real because of that one email. So, Ms. Watts says that there was plenty of evidence for the judge, including witness statements, photos, testimony that proved Johnny is a hopeless addict who repeatedly lost control. She also says that Johnny has admitted to kicking and punching property. And we did see him admit to that, right? I think everybody's done that at least once in their life. But she says it is only a small step from an inanimate object to hitting people. A huge difference. But she thinks it's, just that fine line. And he was so intoxicated, he wouldn't know the difference. So he wouldn't know the difference between a, bathroom sconce and Amber's face. Okay, so Sasha does also talks about Depp's whole approach to this situation is role reversal. First, deny the accusation, then accuse her, and reverse the role of victim and offender. She is saying that's how he went about this, that's how he did his PR. She also says that Depp's team has put out many red herrings. And first off, the first red herring would be the domestic violence with Tasia Van Ree, who denied any assault took place, but there was, the police called and evidence and stuff like that. So second, the last minute introduction of the Whitney Clip, which happened on Friday, where Whitney admits Amber, has been violent against her, saying the video had no bearing on Johnny hitting Amber. She does this straw man argument, right? That's right. It has no bearing on Johnny hitting Amber. What it has bearing on is Whitney's credibility. And that's really important in this case. She also said, it was Amber was entirely, not kidding, too small to hit Johnny. Amber at 115 pounds wouldn't be able to beat him up. Right, because you're small and you can't hit someone. Okay, she says Johnny is far from a Southern gentleman. This is one of those things I was like, are you serious? So he is not the Southern gentleman he claims to be. He suffers, yes, this is real, from deep misogyny. Because he used words like whore and slut. Pretty sure everyone said that. Guess I'm misogynist. But, if the shoe fits, oh my God. And because of the text, we went over the text before between him and Paul Bentley. That makes him a misogynist. No one really knows the meaning of that word. That's like a deep hatred for women. But sure, okay. So they talk about many different situations were mentioned, right? Like the wino forever situation or the plane incident, claiming Depp blame his violence on the monster, so it wasn't him. He would apologize and then it would happen again, whether it was jealousy or drug use. The monster, according to Amber, was real. She also denies setting anything up, any pictures or any audio. Everything was 100% legit. Okay, just look at the pictures. You can tell how badly they are, enhanced and changed. So Sasha also said that the conflation of both painting dates, and we went over this last week, by Whitney and Amber. They couldn't keep their dates straight. Were an honest mistake. But now, they both happened in March, and apparently now it's 2 different years. Like, I can't believe it was supposed to be March 8th and March 23rd. Now it's March 8th and then March 23rd of the next year. Come on. But that's an honest mistake. So we also learned a little bit more about the Hicksville trailer incident from June 2013. Learning that the incident some of it was held in private. We originally thought it was just the Bahamas incident that she had talked about, but she did say that some of the allegations were sexual assault in Hicksville, and that was also talked about in private. That I did not know. So Miss Watts is going to go over what she deems as a critical piece of evidence in her mind, which is an unsent email. Yep. An unsent email from Amber to Johnny that did not get sent. I want to make that clear. How is that critical evidence? Like, it's from 2013, but it's definitely not anything critical. Like, these things should not even be admissible. It's very obvious, the wording and stuff, and I'm not going to read it. It is quite lengthy, but it's very obvious that it was very much so being set up. So she also says that the text from Johnny and Mr. Depps sent as he apologized were admissions of truth. And they weren't just placating Amber. They were facts. And it was the 100% truth. They didn't placate Amber. That didn't happen. She also alleges that the people who came to court for Johnny, and we're going to go over everybody by the end of this, come to lie in court for their boss. That's the only reason why they're there. They're not there even if they don't work for Johnny anymore, which we've seen happen multiple times. They're just coming, to get good favor with their boss. So she also blamed Johnny for Amber's anxiety because, their relationship caused her anxiety and caused her to need medication for it. And they talk about the 3-day Australian incident using very, very, very obvious emotional manipulation, saying, oh, how scared Miss Heard must have been, alone on this island. Her husband went crazy. Really? And then going on to say, he's so jealous that the text to Dr. Kipper about the finger are facts. These are facts. He is guilty. Right, okay. The manipulation is not only in Amber, it's in the son's lawyer too. So the judge seemingly does get a little annoyed at this point. He actually does quite a few times. I think I counted 3 or 4 times where he got a little irritated, whether it was with her or paperwork, just wanting to get her to move on. So they talk, or she calls on, Ben King deranged. She calls the man deranged because, Johnny wrecked the phone next to Amber. even though the phone is literally in these pictures. I pointed this out last week. But Ben King is deranged because that phone was wrecked. Okay, I guess so. So they also blame Johnny for Amber and Whitney fighting. There was 6 months there where they were kind of not talking to each other. And that was Johnny's fault. And, it was also his fault that Whitney moved out. They also mentioned the dog issue in Australia. And we talked about this quite a bit. And now it's coming back to light that something might be done with it recently. So they are saying, Sasha is saying that Amber had no reason to think the dog's papers were not taken care of, and she never asked anyone to lie. She thought the dogs were legit, everything was fine, there was no smuggling of those dogs into Australia. And Mr. Murphy only lied to cover up his own incompetence. Amber is 100% innocent. So we go to the incident on the night before the James Corden show, and Sasha says the only reason she called her publicist, that was a big deal last week, and she denied it, by the way. So Sasha's saying she did, Amber's saying she didn't. So it was because she needed a nurse and wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it to the show because of the bruising. That's the only reason she called or didn't call, whichever it is today. So there is a new picture of her scalp, which was taken December 17th, which would have been 2 days after the fight. It looks almost like a different hair color. This picture is ridiculous. It looks literally like blush. Why is the hair surrounding the scalp that's supposed to be red also pink, like the scalp, like it's the same color? Why wasn't her hair this color or this red literally the night before on the James Corden show? Where is the missing hair? Like, I don't see a whole lot of missing hair. I see you pulling hair to the side and taking a picture. So I don't know. It's all very suspect. So she then accused stylist Samantha McMillan, who was on the stand last week, of lying. Everybody's lying at this point. So we also get Sasha saying Laura Dearvenay, Hilda Vargas, Sean Betts, Kevin Murphy, Starlin Jenkins, and Isaac Barak are all liars because they reported seeing her without makeup and free of injury. That is why all of those people are liars. We have 7 people that lied because all they said was she was free of injury. I'm not even kidding. Then she goes on to blame Johnny, saying it's more his humor, that he's like the kind of person that would poop on the bed. Poopgate was Johnny apparently now. Oh man. And she also said that this is another one of those, like, there's so many of these, like, oh my god moments, you can't be serious, that I don't even need to point them out because, wow, they're bad. She said that the police were negligent that night for not, filing a report, and that Josh Drew, which if you remember is Rocky Pennington's ex-fiance, was more reliable than the police. We had Officer Seance testified that they saw no injury, that they saw no damage, but apparently Josh Drew is more reliable than the LAPD, more trustworthy, because Officer Sands was negligent in a case of domestic violence. Yeah. So she also blamed Johnny's PR for, the Aquaman petition that has nearly 500,000 signatures and wanting to ruin, Amber's career. So that's why they did that. All of these videos, all of the people out there that support Johnny, a lot of them are fake, and it's all blamed on Johnny's PR. This woman got ridiculous today. I did see the judge bite once when it came to the evidence, when it came to the text between Johnny and David Heard. Other than that, I didn't see a whole lot that convinced me that, he was, buying what Sasha was selling. But that text between David and Johnny, he did say, the word fight suggests something more physical than it does a verbal disagreement. So I am curious to see tomorrow what Depp's team is going to bring, because they gotta fix this ridiculous. They have to. It is so bad. He's a misogynist. Once we went down that rabbit hole, I was like, yeah, I'm done. This is over. They absolutely went, if you can't talk about a point someone has or disprove a point, you go to name calling, and they went to misogyny. Of course they did. Anyways, let me know what you think about what happened today. Make sure you are subscribed and still subscribe. I will have a video up tomorrow for the last day of the trial, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content, and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.